Hey, my name is Chris Allen. I'm a solution architect at Analytics, working with Anaplan for close to 6 years now. This is my first How I Built It video, and we'll be demonstrating something simple but important. It's one of those things you assume a formula a formula exists for, but it's an action which gets the job done. The subject is flagging new list items as new. There's one initial step to the process to flag the item as new, but it's the dropping of the new designation, which could go in many different directions, all depending on user preference and the user needs. I'll share a couple of methodologies of how to implement this process, with the difference between the two being the way of dropping the new designation. So the first approach is hands off, but its downside is losing visibility into those new items for when you refresh the data next. The second approach requires manual intervention, which has the upside of retaining new item flags, but downside is at some point requiring manual intervention to clear all new items. So why you might do something like this, some clients want to see new items pop through, whether it's for their own awareness or just to ensure data integrity. In my experience, I always utilize this feature for projects where clients have the ability to create innovation items. Innovation items are usually temporary and sit as placeholders until what it's a placeholder for is established in master data and flows through into the system through its normal process. The placeholder likely won't have the same code or description as its replacement when it's set up in master data. So this will catch the new item to remind the user to replace their placeholder with the SKU. The replacement is another process of its own. So walking through that first approach where it's all hands off, it's automated. On the dashboard here, we have that SKU list in the system module. We have item and code line items. That's not needed for this process. It's these three line items that are. So there's the true line item, which is just a Boolean, and the formula is true. There's current SKU, which is a Boolean, and it's open for an import from the true line item. So before you import more list members, when you refresh the data, you're going to run this action first so that the true line item imports into the current SKU. That way, all the current list members that you have are marked true. Then what happens is that the new SKUs will come into the list, and those will be false under current SKU. So the new SKU line item, that's just a formula of not current SKU. So the new SKUs will be false. New SKU looks to false, it becomes true. So let's go ahead and run that action. We have two new SKUs that are going to come through Data Hub. So I'm running the process again. The first action is to import true over to current SKU, which has already been done. So here are those two new SKUs, 7 and 99. Current SKU, it's false, therefore not current SKU is true. So again, downside, next refresh, whenever that might be, maybe it's a daily cadence. Those guys that are new today will be current tomorrow, so we lose them. So then the other methodology is to require manual intervention. And again, to take it a step further, the manual intervention can be replaced with some sort of rule. It could be time-based. If you were to timestamp this, you could have a rule saying whatever that date was that it came in, after 6 months, drop it. So the line item that we're interacting with here is drop new SKU. If something's new, then you're able to use the drop new SKU line item. So if I mark this true, new SKU drops off. And so the big difference with this and the one that we saw before is that true is a conditional statement now. So let's go look at the blueprint. True has become if new SKU, then false, else true. So that way, when you run the action, you import true into current SKU. Those items that are new won't drop off. They'll stay new until a user marks drop new SKU as true. So it falls off as new SKU. And then line item true, which could use a better name here now, has become true too. So the next time we run this gets imported over to current SKU. This becomes true and it continues on as a current SKU, no longer a new SKU. So, from this point, with this sort of field, there's a lot of room for creativity. Again, I think the timestamp is a good one if the user could come up with some rule that works for them. Every 6 months, drop the new SKU designation, whatever it might be. So that's everything I want to share today. I think this is a great feature. A lot of people that are asked to use it. Again, I think they believe that there's a formula out there for it, but it's really an action that you place within the process before the action import the data over from Data Hub. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comments section. Thank you.